In the soft glow of evening screens, some people sit surrounded by names and faces, yet remain quietly unreachable. They answer messages with perfect timing, laugh in all the right places, and still, something stays folded away. An invisible boundary hums around them, gentle but firm. No one is pushed away, they simply never quite arrive. Conversations stay on the surface like light on still water, beautiful but never breaking through. This is not cruelty, this is not coldness, it is a learned art, how to be close without ever being caught, how to care without ever being claimed. Beneath the calm distance lies a tender fear of being seen too clearly, of needing too much, of disappearing inside another person's heart. This is the quiet psychology of people who avoid deep bonds, a lifelong dance at the edge of connection, where safety and loneliness wear the same face. They are never rude, they are never late, they remember birthdays, reply within minutes, and always ask how you are before you ask them. Yet somehow the conversation never quite lands inside them. It floats, polite and pleasant, on the surface of their eyes. You leave the call feeling warmed but not known. They leave feeling safe. They are the ones who sit at the edge of the group photo, half in the light, half ready to step back. They are masters of the gentle exit. I should let you go. Said with a smile that makes you insist they stay, so the leaving feels like your idea. At parties they circulate like kind ghosts, never drunk enough to lose control, never quiet enough to seem cold. They give just enough of themselves to be loved, never enough to be needed. Their laughter is real, but it stops at the throat. Their hugs are warm, but their arms release first. People call them independent, mature, low maintenance. They accept the compliments like someone accepting a coat they already own. Independence is not the goal, it is the scar. It began with a child who reached and was not reached back. A parent who disappeared into work when tears appeared. A caregiver whose love flickered bright one day, gone the next. Or worse, love that poured only when the child was good, quiet, useful. The lesson arrived softly, repeatedly. If you need too much, they leave. If you show the messy parts, the light goes out. So the child learned a magic trick. Fold the needing part inward, smile outward, and the love stays. The trick worked so well it became identity. By 8, they were the helper, the listener, the one who never cried at school. By 15, they were the friend you called at 3 a.m., who never called back at 3 a.m. The heart built a quiet moat, not because people were cruel, because people were human, and the child decided early that surviving human meant staying half outside the story. Psychologists call it anxious, avoidant attachment, a mouth, filling name for a simple wound. The nervous system learned two truths at once. I desperately want closeness, plus closeness destroys me. The only logical solution, want it, but never take it. Cortisol spikes at the thought of depending. Dopamine rewards the clean escape. The vagus nerve never quite settles in another person's presence. They become fluent in preemptive distance, ending relationships before they're asked to stay, confessing flaws early so rejection comes on their terms, keeping one foot in every connection so they can't be dragged under. Their apartments stay half, unpacked for years, their plans remain reversible, their hearts stay on airplane mode, connected but undisturbed. The cost arrives after the guests leave. When the apartment is finally quiet and the laughter echoes only in memory, a thin ache spreads across the chest. Not dramatic, just accurate. They watch friends cry on each other's shoulders and feel something close to envy, then shame for the envy. They scroll through photos of coupled hands, intertwined lives, and close the app quickly as if caught. Midnight is honest. In the dark, the truth slips out. I built a castle no one can enter, and now I live here alone. They are loved by many, belong to no one, needed by no one, and the freedom starts to feel like a very beautiful cage. It starts with a moment that refuses to end cleanly. A friend falls apart in front of them, and instead of the usual graceful exit, they stay. The friend cries into their shoulder, and the shoulder does not move away. Something electric and terrifying passes through. I am being needed and the world has not ended. Or someone says, I love you first, and for once they do not reply with humor or silence. The words stick in the throat, but they stay in the room. Or they catch their own reflection after a rare fight and see fear instead of composure, and the fear looks young, exhausted, human. These moments are small earthquakes. Nothing collapses, but the ground shifts just enough to remind them it was never solid stone. Change is microscopic, undramatic, stubborn. They practice staying 5 extra minutes after the movie ends. They let someone see the unwashed dishes. They send the second text, I actually feel sad today, and do not delete it. They learn the difference between merging and meeting. They discover that needing does not always mean disappearing. Some days the old reflex wins. They vanish, they joke, they retreat. But now retreat is followed by return. An apology, a softer voice, a willingness to try again tomorrow. The boundary does not dissolve. It becomes permeable like rice, paper walls that let light through without removing the room. In the end, they may never live fully inside another's heart. The early lesson was too thorough, the moat too well engineered, but they learn to stand closer to the water than before. They let hands be held longer. They let silences be shared instead of escaped. They love deeply, carefully, with one foot in and one foot ready, a stance that looks like hesitation, but feels like survival turned into choice. Some nights they still sit alone and the ache is still there. But now the ache has company, the memory of a shoulder that once carried someone else's tears, the echo of an I love you, they finally let land. They remain the ones who arrive beautifully, leave gently, and more often, stay just long enough to be changed. And in that small, brave staying, they discover the quiet revolution. Closeness does not have to mean surrender. It can simply mean finally, carefully, letting someone else breathe the same air.